All right, let's dive right in. Hello VU students, or welcome to this Ultimate Exam Masterclass Explainer for PAK522. आज हम lecture 22, Civil and Political Rights, को एकदम जुगाड़ style में crack करने वाले हैं। अगर आपको ये constitutional topics dry or confusing लगते हैं, तो बिल्कुल tension मत लो. We're going to break down the entire 1973 Constitution's fundamental rights so simply that you'll have all the key points right at your fingertips. If you want to clear this topic easily, bus मेरे साथ focus करो. Let's get started.
Here is our quick study plan. First, civil versus political rights. Second, core civil rights. Third, equality and religious freedoms. Fourth, key political rights. And finally, landmark court cases. Section 1, Civil versus Political Rights.
Examiners literally love asking for this exact difference in short questions, तो इस concept को अभी के अभी clear कर लेते हैं. Screen पे देखो, here is the ultimate जुगाड़ to memorize this difference forever. Notice how civil rights mean protection from the state. Basically, the state cannot unlawfully take away your life, your religion, or your equality. It's your shield. On the flip side, political rights mean participation in the state. ये action-oriented है. Think voting, protesting, and free speech. समझ गए? Civil is your protection, while political is your active action and participation in the democratic process.
Section 2, Core Civil Rights.
Guys, ये section बहुत ही important है. Take a quick screenshot of this cheat sheet right now because you need to memorize these exact article numbers for your MCQs. Let me translate these concepts into simple Urdu so you actually understand what you're cramming. Article 9 is the absolute foundation, Zindagi aur Azadi. No one can take your life or liberty without the law. Article 10 gives you safeguards against sudden arrest. You have the right to know why you're being arrested and to get a lawyer. Article 10A is a fair trial, meaning आपका case impartial courts में चलेगा. Article 14 is all about human dignity and privacy of your home. Strictly no torture allowed. And finally, Articles 15 and 24 mean आप पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी freely travel कर सकते हैं और property own कर सकते हैं.
Now here's a quick vocabulary boost for your English papers. Article 14 explicitly says the dignity of man is inviolable. Inviolable का मतलब है something that can never be broken, infringed, or dishonored. जब आप एग्जाम में ये exact line लिखेंगे that human dignity is inviolable under Article 14, it will immediately impress the examiner and secure you solid marks.
Okay, listen up closely because here is a massive MCQ ka jugad. Examiners always try to trick you into confusing Article 10 with Article 10A. So, the crucial difference is this. Article 10 applies immediately when you are arrested. It's about police procedure, like the police telling you exactly why you are detained. But Article 10A is about what happens after that. It guarantees due process and a fair trial during your actual court proceedings. Simply put, Article 10 is the arrest, 10A is the courtroom. Don't mix them up.
Section 3, Equality and Religious Freedoms.
Iska context ye hai कि Pakistan's constitution puts a heavy emphasis on treating everyone fairly, completely regardless of their background, religion, or social status. I've grouped these logically for you so they're much easier to remember. Look at the top half here. Articles 20 to 22 protect your personal beliefs. Article 20 gives you the freedom to practice your religion peacefully, while 21 and 22 ensure religious institutions and students are protected from any discrimination. Now check out the bottom half. Articles 25 to 27 protect you from everyday social discrimination. Article 25 is huge. Equality before the law. Chahe koi rich ho or poor, the law applies the exact same way. And 26 and 27 guarantee equal access to public places and government jobs based purely on merit.
Section 4, Key Political Rights.
We're shifting the energy here from protection to active participation. This is where citizens actually shape the government. I like to call these the democratic action articles. इनको याद रखने का best जुगाड़ है एक mini story banana. Just think about it. Imagine you want to change something in society. First, आपको actual facts and transparency चाहिए. That's right to information, Article 19A. Then you speak up about it, freedom of speech, Article 19. Next, you gather your friends to protest peacefully without arms, freedom of assembly, Article 16. If your movement grows, you form a political party, Article 17. And finally, you step into the polling booth and vote using your electoral rights. Connect them like a story, or aap inko kabhi nahi bhulenge.
Here is another solid vocabulary boost. Throughout this session, we've talked about protection from the state. The absolute magic word to use in your exams is arbitrary. Arbitrary means an action based on random choice or a personal whim, rather than the actual rule of law. Explicitly write the phrase, protection against arbitrary state action, in your long answers. Trust me, examiners actively look for this exact terminology, and using it is a guaranteed way to score maximum marks.
Section 5. Landmark Court Cases.
Guys, pay attention because this is the golden material. Writing down basic points gets you a B grade, but quoting real Supreme Court cases is exactly how you turn a B grade paper into an A grade paper for your long questions. Let's see how the judiciary actually protects these rights in real life. Just listen to this powerful statement from the Supreme Court. The term life does not merely mean physical existence, but includes all aspects that contribute to a healthy, safe, and dignified life. Imagine how massive that is. The court literally expanded the definition of life in Article 9. It's not just about breathing, it means you have a constitutional right to live in a clean, healthy environment.
And that quote brilliantly sets up our first case study, Shehla Zia versus WAPDA. Let me tell you the story behind this. Citizens of Islamabad were facing a huge problem. WAPDA was building a massive high-voltage electricity grid right in the middle of their residential area. Instead of just complaining, they took WAPDA straight to court. They invoked Article 9, right to life, and Article 14, human dignity, arguing that the electromagnetic radiation was a serious health hazard. And guess what? The Supreme Court agreed. They set a massive precedent, stating that environmental hazards literally violate a citizen's right to life. The state absolutely must consider public welfare and safety.
Moving right along to our second major case, Benazir Bhutto versus Federation of Pakistan from 1988. Now, keeping things strictly politically neutral here, we're looking at this purely from a constitutional law perspective. This was a critical historical moment, testing the absolute boundaries of political freedoms during a government transition period.
The core issue in this case was that arbitrary restrictions were being placed on political activities. The Supreme Court had to deeply examine Article 17 on freedom of association, Article 19 on speech, and Article 25 on equality. The final ruling cemented a fundamental idea. You simply cannot have a constitutional democracy without the freedom to form political parties and express political opinions. The court invalidated those unreasonable restrictions, proving once and for all that political rights aren't just polite suggestions, they are the absolutely indispensable engine of a representative government.
So wrapping up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative, exam-style question to really test your understanding. Look at the question on screen. If an exam question asks how Article 9, right to life, and Article 16, freedom of assembly, work together to protect citizens protesting for clean water, how exactly would you structure your answer? Think about it. You'd use the Shehla Zia case to prove that clean water is part of the right to life, and then use Article 16 to defend their right to peacefully gather and demand it. Combine your civil and political rights exactly like this, or आपका PAK522 paper easily ace ho jayega. Best of luck with your exam prep and keep revising these concepts.